Hi.
We're really happy.
We're really happy. We're filming this on Sunday night, and we've never done that because I wanted to keep all of this.
Keep it building.
There's a lot to talk about in this game, but let's just jump into it. Welcome to Something to Talk About, the show where everything's made up and the points don't matter. That's right. The points are like the center. He doesn't matter until he drops the ball in the end zone.
In the end zone. Oh, my gosh.
Oh my God.
I could not imagine being a Bills fan at that moment.
I couldn't imagine being that center.
Like you have one thing to not do.
You hand the ball. Oh my God. He's not sleeping tonight. If I was him, I would not be able to sleep. Period. But not to just jump right into it. So welcome to week 10. We're talking about the Bills game, Vikings Bills. If you guys can't tell by the thumbnail and all that stuff, but to jump right back into it, who I think had a worse night and who I'm actually really upset about, and we didn't need the multiple acts of God if he just did his fucking job.
Is that Dalvin?
It's Greg Joseph.
Ooh. Well, yeah.
If he did that extra point, we would have not had to try to force our way into the touchdown after that 2-minute warning, which we had there was like 2 acts of God before this, but at the end we wouldn't have had to keep trying and then failing. And then that weird center fumble touchdown wouldn't have needed to happen if we just kicked the field goal. And we wouldn't have been able to we can't kick a field goal because he missed the extra point. Well, I think he should be fired, and I do not wish that on anybody. Or at least he should be doing that job.
And the thing is it's gonna be null and void because we won.
That shouldn't be that way.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. You know what I heard on those? So I was listening to do you get Vikings radio? I mean,
yeah, of course.
You get K-Fan, right?
Yeah, of course.
I was listening to the post game a little bit, and not Corey, the other guy. I can't remember his name. Doesn't matter. But he was saying that now that we're 8-1, we're locked for the playoffs. We're practically locked to win the division. That the kicker just doesn't matter till the playoffs. That's his shtick. It's like that's what he was pushing. He's like, well, now the kicker doesn't matter. He's like, until
that's
the playoffs.
Not true, though.
That's what he's trying to push, though. And I'm just like, so he's like, oh, he has all this time to get prepared. I'm like, but we've missed 4 extra points.
Yeah, that's not true.
10 weeks. This is terrible.
We are Minnesota Vikings. We cannot go into big games without a kicker. We can't. I'm not doing it again.
It's unreal. It's just unreal. Like you just watch it and you're like, how in this franchise can just kicking just kill us? Like, why can't it be anything else? But it's always kicking. Like it's just so frustrating.
All the way from the Fran Tarkenton days. Like we've always struggled with kickers.
And then you have the greatest kicker of all time, and he misses the biggest kick in 1998 history.
The only game the only kick in 1998 that he missed.
Unreal. Yeah. So actually, so where I thought you were going with it, I agree with the Greg Joseph thing. But the other issue I had is in that same vein, and the fact that Dalvin Cook got completely saved was that 4th down. Where he didn't catch that ball, and he got saved by the offsides, and I was frustrated at that. I was like, this is not fair that he's going to get off because if he would have caught that and got in, that would have the game's over, and he doesn't catch that ball. That's frustrating.
I want to start with the 2-minute warning and work our way forward because there's 80 things after that. But before we start. There was a 80-yard touchdown from Dalvin Cook that literally made it able. We wouldn't be having this conversation if that timely miracle touchdown didn't happen. We wouldn't have been.
Sure.
We were 17 points behind it. Yeah, we're
gets
so
the
far
one, but he drops the more important one. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe I'll be.
Both are important. Both are important. Without that 7 points, we wouldn't have been close. We wouldn't have been. They would have beat us, period. So 2-minute warning is exactly when it all stops, right? It was 4-13, and we were going for it, and then the 2-minute warning happened.
Yeah.
And then
which looks
all
brutal.
Hell breaks loose. That amazing JJ catch.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It's an amazing catch.
Two great catches. Diggs had a really good way.
Diggs had the OBJ almost catch where he just snag it out of the air.
So, but then JJ does that same thing, but in somebody else's hands.
Unreal. I know somebody. I saw. I think it was like on NFL. I think posted it, and it was a still of JJ, and it's Bills player with his hands on the ball.
His hands are
and
like
says,
this, and
just
JJ's
saying,
in between.
I know. It's like, just so you know, the Vikings player caught this ball.
Holy shit.
And the fact that like you saw the replay, like when it goes to the ground, it like levitates.
He also
grabs it.
does a flip. So when he catches it, his head, he does a full flip in the air and lands, and his grip holds it the entire time. The ball's the center of him.
It is. It's unreal. JJ had a spectacular game today.
Oh, absolutely. I got his yardage. I was
it's like $170 or something.
It's a lot.
And
I'll tell you.
We're gonna get there, but he had some huge catches even before the 2-minute warning.
193.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of huge catches. So that drive before the 2-point is what's up, and it all starts with a first down, with a two 4th down conversions. The first one was like at a yard or whatever, and then that second one was a 13 yards, and that's right when the two. Yeah, so JJ stepped 193. Holy crap! So I was gonna say something different about JJ, but now I completely lost it. Shuckies. What were we saying? Okay, whatever.
That's where you're going.
Yeah, and then he catches that, and then he has that one more amazing catch at the 1 yard line. And then next thing I know, we're 4th and 10 again. I'm like, wait, we're at the 1.
It's the whole game. That was the Vikings the whole game.
Yeah.
It just never stopped. But yet we did the same thing we do every game. First drive of the game.
Yeah.
We look perfect.
Yep.
Drive the field, look amazing. And then the rest of the game, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. All the time.
I can't believe it. Me and you were dying when we're messaging each other. I was getting whiplash. Because I was going for, what is going on? This is amazing. Like, we're going to pull this off. Because, like, as soon as they started coming back, I'm like, wait, we might actually win this game. Like, are we in this game now? And then, like, giant shutdowns, and we're like, well, we lost. Well, we lost. And
the end of half was the killer for me. I thought it was done. When we went for it on that 4th and 1, the third one, 4th and 1, didn't get it, and then the Bills fly right down the field for a touchdown. I'm like, gross. I'm like, we're toast.
But I know we always do this. We play the first quarter and the last 4 minutes.
First and fourth. Yeah. The second and third just don't matter to this team, apparently. They just do not play in them. It's unreal.
Well, I think it was like we used to play the first and second, and then finally somebody's like, if we only play 2 quarters,
we should probably choose
we should play the fourth too. So, all right. So following that drive, we have the double 4th down and 4th and 1. We had 2 4th and 1s.
We had 2 4th and 1s. Yes, we did.
Oh my god! And so the first one is the Dalvin drop,
which to me is
very frustrating.
So frustrating.
I would never want to get rid of Dalvin just because he's a playmaker when you don't need him to be. He's reliable.
Man, that was I don't know, man. That to me,
that was bad.
Greg Joseph's kick miss. Like Cousins throwing it directly to that one guy.
Yeah, what was that about? Yeah, there was no one around.
I think they were trying to figure out. I think they thought that he thought it was a Viking.
Yeah, that's what somebody said.
Corey Cove was saying that they're pretty sure that based off the reads that he thought it was Jefferson, and it just wasn't. It was bad.
I remember. I think it was Bradford or something. It was we were doing really bad. And it was like 6 picks one game. And I just wrote on my Facebook, because I didn't have Twitter at the time, where I'm just like, hey, dude, we're wearing purple.
Yeah.
I just want you to know.
Yeah. That was a horrible pass. I mean, it was
but
Kirk. I mean, we'll probably get into it at the end, but Kirk and Allen both had a couple really bad turnovers in this game. Really bad.
Once we get to talking about OT, I actually have a major criticism on the Bills that I've never that I feel like needs to be said. Because as much as the Miracles won this game for us, they made a couple pretty huge play mistakes, and I want to talk about it.
They really
so
did.
So, anyways,
but the other 4th and 1.
The other 4th and 1.
That was the call I made when I'm sitting next to my grandpa watching the game. My call was give Kirk the ball and punch him in the back punch him in the back with CJ Ham. But God, did everybody look like they were stuck in cement?
You're doing that against the Bills. That's the difference. That's the difference. Is because you could do that against any other D line, and it's gonna work.
It was like a third of a yard, and I thought, Kirk big enough. CJ Ham pushing him. CJ Ham barely touched him.
CJ Ham got it. Oh wait, that's
good touchdown.
That's not the game-winning touchdown. No, it is. No, we didn't have a game-winning touchdown.
It was the one leading up.
Yeah,
it was after Dalvin. Great touchdown by CJ. Great play.
Yeah, I can't believe CJ finally got a touchdown.
I couldn't believe he hadn't had one in 5 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's a crazy
Talk about reliable. That guy's the most reliable player.
Ham.
I love CJ Ham. But yeah, I'm so glad he got a touchdown. But yeah, we're going to talk about
Kirk doesn't get the 4th and 1, which I knew that he didn't get it. I mean, he looked short. I was hoping that we would get lucky. I'm shocked that the refs chose to not give him the touchdown than to give him the touchdown, because that's an auto review. Like, because they're going to review it anyway. Yeah. But I'm shocked by that, because I'm like, God, if they would have given us that touchdown, we probably would have got that touchdown, because there was no way to overturn it. So, it is what it is. What do you do? But how do you not think that moment is the death knell? How?
Well, it was. They played closing time when it went to commercial break. I'm not kidding. They did. They ended the game. The game was done.
Bill's Twitter tweeted that they won, and then later had to delete that tweet.
It was 37 fucking seconds.
And
that
you
was
have the ball.
You have the ball.
Which again, okay, so we're gonna get to the play, obviously, the fumble. So I didn't really understand it. So my grandpa.
We skipped over one. We skipped over the third down, which was the second down, which was equally frustrating. Or the third?
No, it was all of it. It was all of it.
The lineman stepping on Kirk Cousins.
Twice.
What are you doing?
He did
what
it
are
earlier
you doing?
In the game too.
Yeah, but when I watched that, I was like, if I was Cousins, I would have hit him.
I know.
But what are you doing? Get off my fucking foot. I'm the fucking quarterback.
How do you angle so poorly? And again, to do it twice. You've already done it once in the game. How are you doing this?
This is so out of left field, but it reminds me of the scene in Almost Famous when the band is leaving the rest stop and Jason Lee walks out and he goes, "Yeah, you don't need me. I'm just a fucking lead singer." And I was like, "Yeah, step all over me. I'm just a fucking quarterback. Get the fuck off my foot."
I just don't see how it happens. I just don't. You could go a whole season and never see that, and yet it happens twice.
Yeah, I had to bring that up because it was so infuriating. Because I'm like, that is such a Vikings thing of why we're not winning this game, because our linebackers just like, excuse me.
I know.
Or not linebacker.
No, lineman. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, lineman. But all right, sorry. So the play.
The play.
What you were about to say before I think I cut you off is they could have just got the safety.
So that was my question. Were they were trying to sneak it, right?
Yeah. They were trying they were gonna quarterback sneak out to make sure that he's out, but that is so high risk for no reason.
Why not just take the safety?
Yeah. You're not gonna lose from a safety. You'll lose from a touchdown.
Yeah, because sure, you have to kick the ball back to Minnesota, and Minnesota has, I don't know. That was a very odd situation. Very weird. So I didn't really understand what they were trying to do, because
I would have.
A QB sneak in that moment. I understand that they were hoping that
just get out.
He got just out, and then you could run the clock.
Yeah,
because I don't think we had time. We didn't have any timeouts left.
Well, he can't spike it, right? Like you can't.
He would have. But he would have got a safety that way. So,
but take the 2 points. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. But the fact that they fumbled is insanity.
Now, not only was it I've seen quarterbacks drop balls before. I don't think I've ever seen a center drop the ball. I don't think I've ever seen
out of his hand before it even got to Allen's hand.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a failed snap in my life. Right. I really don't.
Oh, I've seen them, but not like that, because
I've seen shotguns. Sure. I've seen but not hey dude, it's right here. Oh,
it
crap.
happens once in a while, but like that one was bad because like Josh Allen doesn't even react. I mean, he literally does not react to
He
that
looked
ball
like he snapped
because
at that moment.
Yeah, he did because he doesn't even react to the ball coming because like I don't even think he
Yeah.
barely felt it because it like comes off the side of his hand.
When,
It was
when
weird.
the dog pile's going on, he was in the back of the end zone going.
He knew it. He knew that the Vikings jumped on it, which is
Yeah.
unreal that we did.
Not only the Vikings, but Kendricks. My man.
He's a man.
Man.
What a stud.
I would be wearing his jersey if they were available. I mean, I like Daniil Hunter got at least one sack, not two, right?
Yeah.
But
Daniil Hunter's a whole nother conversation right now.
He got sacks. He hit the quarterback.
But yeah, so now magically we are up, and I heard the call after.
Oh, one.
You're fine. And
Sorry.
Paul
No,
Allen,
I said one sack. So
yeah,
keep
and
going.
Paul Allen mentions that. Oh, the Vikings win. Well, not yet.
So let's talk about our what are they called? The defensive players who are supposed to be watching wide receivers?
Because we don't backs.
Yeah, we don't fucking have those or what? Like that whole round.
Well, let's first off mention the catch that wasn't a fucking catch.
Absolutely.
That the booth did not review.
They moved too quick and just went. And because
I don't give a shit. The booth should have known better. I don't care how fast they were moving. The booth can stop it at any moment.
Yeah.
That ball literally
was absolutely not a catch. Yeah.
And they just let it slide.
And the first time I
furious.
When the first time it showed the actual slow-mo, like the replay, and it was that good side view and you saw the ball, they already did two other plays.
Dude, and then they finally waited, and then they waited till overtime to bring it
up.
And I was like, oh, they just ignored. They're just going to ignore the fact that the Bills got a freebie that sent them 20 yards down the field. That is so. I mean, I literally complained about that. I was like, and again, it's going to be lost to time because we won. But like that's infuriating. Last week we have a referee literally tackle our defensive back.
block
him. I had friends of mine who are not Vikings fans, who are not Packers fans, that literally texted going, that ref legit intentionally did that. They're like, there's just no way around it.
Tackled our guy.
Tackled him.
Like he's straight up like, oops.
Then you got this. I understand that the NFL would die than to rather have the Vikings 8-1 because nobody talks about us.
Well,
nobody picks us to win
now, but yeah,
nobody picks us to win the Super Bowl. Nobody talks about Kevin O'Connell as Coach of the Year. Nobody talks about Kirk. Like we are literally an unspoken hero.
No, they talk about Kirk.
How much? Oh, because he wears chains.
No, well, that and how he's actually having a bad year. I have to hear that every time they bring it up. Oh, his stats are actually bad. You know, he's actually doing bad.
Dude,
he's fucking 8-1. He's so horrible.
Even on Vikings fan line, they brought it up multiple times that Kirk was having his worst year. I'm like,
you can't talk. Who the fuck cares?
Because
about the stats?
he's also throwing more, and he's also throwing more passes that aren't dump passes.
He's actually acting like a fucking star court. He's running right now. He's acting the way he was never supposed to or allowed to act behind Zimmer.
Dude, you and I are you and I are in full agreement on this. I totally agree.
And also to bring in some levity, my boy is swole, dude. Holy shit!
I know. I would have never thought that until I saw him without the shirt on.
He was
jacked.
He was on Pat McAfee's podcast. Is that the guy's name? At McAfee. McAfee.
Oh yeah,
the punter. Yeah, and he was talking to him, and they just go, dude, what's with that? And he's like, I've always had it, just no one knows.
No one knows.
Goes, we did the like Senior Bowl or whatever, and we all weighed in, and he said that his agent goes, everyone's talking about your abs right now. He's like, really, like it's like the one time anyone saw him without a shirt on.
Yes, exactly.
So the skinny little dude's just
dude, he's jacked, man. So then we get the Bills, just like you said. We are not covering anyone. We are letting them 20, 10, 15 yards down
Every
the field.
One of those throws
was wide open.
Yeah, wide. And I messaged you. I was like, we just not like our defense just fucking leave.
Yeah, I
Like,
do not know what that was. That defense was terrible.
If we're gonna stop, like we've stopped them drives. They punted this game. Like the time they only have 30 fucking seconds is the time where we're like,
yeah.
Like what they got fucking digs. Like what are you doing?
I mean, at least we held them out of the end zone
away.
because I thought we weren't going to hold them out of the end zone. I thought it was going to be toast.
Yeah, I mean it almost fucking was. Although it would have been less toast if the referees did their job, the officials did their jobs.
God.
But
so now we're in overtime.
So yeah, now we get into overtime. We get the ball. I was like, so my I watched the first half of the game at B-Dubs with my daughter.
Yeah.
And then we left. She immediately started to take a nap. So the rest of it was me doing chores with my headphones in, freaking the fuck out and trying not to. So where I was, the JJ catch, I was in my bathroom howling. I ran downstairs to react. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Freaked out.
Dude, so finally, my throat hurts from screaming. Like I was just like going for it.
My daughter kept like looking up and like, what are we happy about? Like, don't worry about it. But it's amazing. And then when all right, I won't get to that yet. All right, so OT, we marched down the field.
Dalvin Cook dominating their defense. Three huge runs. And then Kirk, sorry if I'm jumping your gun. And then Kirk throws what is a beautiful, perfect pass to Justin Jefferson down to the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous pass. Gorgeous. Like that's Kirk on point.
Yep.
And somehow we managed to get a penalty, take a sack, and completely fuck it up.
And next thing you know, we went from like fucking 1st and 3 to
third and 25.
Yeah, third and 25. Yeah, sack was like back there. Like he's like, oh, whoa.
Like, what are we doing? It's such just another Viking moment of just like we should. Oh, and like we try to throw the first pass, we try to throw high out of the back of the end zone. It's like, why not run the ball?
Yeah,
run the ball once.
That's going to be what I'm talking about here in a second.
Okay,
is why not run the ball.
So we kick a field goal.
I was going to say 119 yards for Cook.
But he got all of it off one run. He got 82 3 yards off one run.
So yeah,
and then he got 20 off probably overtime.
You're right. Ham did the exact same in 3. You only needed 3 yards, yo.
Exactly.
Same results.
So now we're up by 3, and now I want to hear your Bills criticism.
I like that Josh Allen can march down the field, but why he lost the game is because they don't run the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Period.
They don't run the ball.
If they were to play the game the way you're supposed to, get a first down, run, throw, get a run. First or second downs are there for the running back to try to get in there. They don't do that. They go Diggs, go. Yep. And guess what? Eventually, you're going to have a fucking interception in the end zone. Like, that's how those happen.
Well, right. And you're right. And that's kind of the big reason why like people like watching the Bills and the Chiefs. Because
it's great.
Because it's just run and gun. And
watching first down after first down with
Yep.
an amazing quarterback and amazing wide receiver is what the game it feels so good to see. But it's not playing it correctly.
But this is the thing though, like, and me and my buddies were talking about it the last 3 weeks. The Bills, when they played the Packers, Josh Allen threw 2 really, really bad interceptions. And I kind of sloughed him off because I was like, well, they're kind of beating Green Bay a lot. So like, I don't know, maybe he's just slinging the ball around. Last week, I watched the Bills highlights. Josh Allen threw another 2 terrible interceptions, like awful. The ones he threw today were also very bad. That one in the first half one where it got ran back like 20 yards, 30 yards, that was a terrible throw. He didn't see the guy.
The one that Josh Allen got the touchdown or got the tackle, right?
Yeah, the one where it got hurt for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this one, why was he throwing it there? Patrick Peterson had the guy completely locked.
Yeah.
And
And
but again, it's because
getting
they're
cocky. Yeah.
right. It's because they're nonstop just trying to go for it. Which
Well,
again, if you're gonna live by the sword, you have to die by it. And that's what happened to the
absolutely.
Bills today.
It's high risk, high reward. They don't play that way, you're not going to get their 30-second drive in the fourth quarter.
Right.
But then you're also not going to lose.
Right.
I mean, it's cool to say, like, hey, our quarterback got 84 yards of rushing. He's
great.
Yards.
He is somehow so good on the running. He's so good at his legs.
But here's the problem. When Singletary, who isn't bad, who also got 2 touchdowns, got only 47, that means that, at least from what I can tell, those 84 yards are unplanned, which means that, like, Josh Allen's mostly were unplanned. That means that he's not planning. They don't rush on purpose ever. Right. They very rarely do. And that's just really high fucking risk ball. And that's what lost them the game. Our miracles helped.
Hey,
but
they had just as many. I mean, the fumble thing is a miracle for us. But
absolutely.
But they had some mess ups. I mean, again, they had the couple interceptions were bad, and truly they were.
I don't want to hear we didn't win it. The Bills lost it. Bullshit.
Nope, not true.
I'm not putting up with that.
We talked. I don't know if me and you talked about it 2 weeks ago, or if me and you just messaged each other about it. I didn't want to play. I think we did talk. I didn't want to play Keenum because if we beat Keenum, nobody was going to give us respect.
Yeah.
But if we would have lost to Keenum, everybody would have made fun of us.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go in and lose to Josh Allen and the Bills, people would just go, well, it's the Bills. Of course you lost. So now that we beat them, aren't we good?
We're good. We're really good.
We are. And I swear to God, if come tomorrow, when everybody wakes up, if it's any different, that's going to be proof that nobody gives a shit about the Vikings.
I swear, if the Bills are still higher than us in every ranking,
they can't be. There's just no way.
They have a shit record compared to ours now. Like they have 2 more losses than us, and we beat them. How are we not number 2 in the league?
Are number 2 in the league.
Yeah.
There's definitively we are number 2 unless we are. There's just no way we can't be. I mean, unless the Chiefs.
Bet you.
Oh, they played today.
$4. We're going to be at least number 4 in
behind who? Philly, no matter what. Philly can lose, but
they're still going to put us behind fucking Chiefs and Bills.
They will not have us behind the Bills after we beat them. They just can't do it. They can't do it because we beat them.
Did the Chiefs win today?
I think they did.
All right, I can look. I'm doing research today. I'm the numbers guy.
They beat Jacksonville.
Oh, oh no! How?
Shocker.
Sorry.
So the Chiefs won. So you know what? I get it. If the Chiefs are number 2 and we're number 3, I can tolerate it.
I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody we're a better team than the Chiefs. I'm not. But I can. I don't think we're a better team than the Bills, but we're doing better than the Bills. There's a difference.
Well, that's what we keep talking about. You and I have talked about this too, and maybe it's an easy thing to end on or get towards the end on is the fact that how good are we? Like,
we're good.
We're good, but like, are we a Super Bowl contender?
We're winning from non-conventional means, and that isn't quantifiable. We're numbers people. Sports fans are numbers people. Right. I want to be able to look at you and say, hey, we are rated the number of whatever offense because of this and this and this. We're rated number of whatever defense because of this and this. We just aren't winning because of one of those numbers. We're winning because we're just getting kind bloody and we're digging down in the trenches.
And that is the one thing that I think Kirk did a good job on McAfee this week. And he's right. We are definitely winning collectively. And I think that's maybe why the NFL and most people throughout the country, because, I know you and I are fans, but we're also realistic. The Vikings is a small market. They're they're not a nationally popular team. We always have players that people like, but we don't like Peterson to Jefferson to the Favre to Randy Moss to Chris Carter. We have people that people like throughout the nation, right? Like.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the Vikings are on the primetime game and I'm a Saints fan, at least I get to watch Justin Jefferson. He's really fun.
Yeah.
Even though that fan could care less about who the running back is.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why, because when you think Chiefs, everybody's like, oh, Mahomes is, he's just an all-star, and Josh Allen's an all-star, and, the Eagles have Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. They don't talk about the Vikings that way.
No.
They just don't.
And what you're talking about it being a small market, I'm in North Dakota. I'm just in North Dakota. I work in Minnesota. I live in Fargo. So I'm across the state from Minneapolis. I know equal part Packers fans. We are like 50-50. You want to talk about markets? I am further away from Green Bay than I am Minneapolis, and I'm still pretty freaking far from Minneapolis, and I'm still in, it's still mixed. It's mixed throughout all of Minnesota, like is Green Bay fans, because Vikings just have never, they've never been there. That it's just so much easier to like Green Bay.
They are just the Vikings are a very middle of the road team and fan base. It just is, and it doesn't help when you don't win Super Bowls.
Yep.
I mean, and again, there is parts of the Vikings people have liked for the last 30 years, but at the end of the day, we are a small market team, and nobody gives a shit.
We always had good players. We've had good players since as far as I can remember. But
we do. We always have all stars.
Yeah, and it was always like everything clicking, and right now it's all clicking in a weird way. So people don't want to admit that we're great. And it sucks, because you remember how pessimistic I was at the beginning of the season. If I'm now unironically not head up my ass saying we're the second in the league. That took me a long time. They had to earn that from me. Mm-hmm. Non-Vikings fans, people who don't have to fucking suffer, can shut up. They can go kick rocks. Okay. I don't need any other franchise. I don't need their judgment. We're actually doing good. Go kick rocks. We just don't want to admit.
And we are. And I as much as I don't like to see the Packers win, I'm really happy they beat the Cowboys.
Did they beat the Cowboys?
They did. Just in overtime. Same with us.
Oh, fun. I don't want them to.
I did, because we play the Cowboys next week.
I know.
I wanted to go. I'm okay. I need the Cowboys.
I want to beat up better Cowboys.
I'm not afraid of Green Bay.
I'm not afraid of Green Bay either, but I'm saying I'm okay with I want the Cowboys to be as good as possible when we beat them. I don't want to beat a middle of the road team anymore. We did it all year.
Cowboys are still good. Cowboys are still good, though. They kind of blew that. Good. They blew that game. No offense, they Bills that game. They blew it. They blew the game. In a couple of just the worst thing. And Green Bay almost gave the game away, and the Cowboys still fucked it up.
I normally have
Cowboys next. Do you have?
Yep.
And then Patriots.
Yeah,
that's 2 more wins for me.
Why did I get rid of our schedule one? That was the one I didn't have to delete.
That's okay. Well, I know those are the next 2. We got Cowboys in Minnesota, and then Thanksgiving night we have Patriots in Minnesota.
And then is it Jets?
Let's be 10-1. I think it's Jets after that. So I mean, if we can come out of these 3 games 10-2, I mean, let's go.
Yeah. I'm at the point where we can get some losses. I'm happy. I'm pretty impressed, and I'm okay if we lose a few of these coming up.
I said today that I just wanted to go 1-1 in the next 2. If we lost to the Bills today, I just wanted to beat the Cowboys. If we lose to the Cowboys, it's not going to crush me. They're a good team.
It won't crush me. They're a really good team. So
that was the other part about today too. And as we kind of probably get closer to wrapping up here, is that the whole time I'm watching, when the Bills did stuff, I'm like, God, the Bills are good. They're good.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Commanders.
Why are we losing to these guys?
Yeah, it was when some of the catches that were happening, some of the plays Josh Allen was making, the defense, I'm like, this team is good.
Well, and
they're very good.
As a guy who was a giant fan of Diggs when he was on our team, and for some reason he didn't get the respect he deserves, and now he does. Yeah. And it's so great. Like I have that like tear when I'm like, I'm so glad he's doing this fucking good now. Like,
Right.
you know, like good job, bro. Like you needed it. Yeah. So Cowboys, which I'm okay if we lose. Patriots, I think that's in the bag.
We got to beat the Patriots.
Yeah. Jets.
That's gonna be a fun game. I'm
they're
excited for
not.
that
They're
game.
not bad.
Not bad.
No,
They're
they're not bad.
Team. They're fun.
Lions.
We got to beat them. Got to beat the Bears.
If any one I'm most afraid of, it's the Lions, because it would be so Vikings to lose the Lions.
Well, the Lions came back and whooped the Bears. The Bears were up by like 17 points at one point, and then they lost. So
they have more. They have the second most wins in the division, like in division wins.
I know how sick. That was the only thing about Green Bay losing today, which would have been fine. Is we'd have been 5.5 up in the division on week 10. Holy crap, that's insane.
Colts, not worried.
They're bad. They're very bad.
Yeah. Giants, I'm worried.
Giants are good. I think they're an easy loss.
So I think there's 3. And then Packers, I'm always worried, honestly.
Sure. In Lambeau in winter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
always worried about Packers.
By then, the way the NFC looks, I mean, the NFC is weak compared to the AFC.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, the Packers could easily, if they win a couple games here, they could easily be fighting for a wild card spot by then.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
Either.
Yeah. So I think 1, 2.
I think we could. I mean,
3 to 4 losses, but that puts us at
13-4.
Okay.
That's what you live for.
I'll take that. That's amazing. I'm okay with 13-4. I didn't want to get any of these losses in the beginning of the season because we're playing against more mediocre teams, but we're not anymore. This is it. This was the nut up or shut up of we're now playing against like these guys, Cowboys, Jets, Giants. Like we're no longer beating up
mediocre teams,
mediocre or worse. We're just playing the big dogs. We just beat the big dog.
And we beat the big dog. I don't care about Philly. I don't care about the Chiefs. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody knows the Bills are the favorite to win it all.
Absolutely. I think they're the best team in the NFL, even with their record.
Honestly, still today, if somebody were to say, who do you think is the best team in the NFL, I would still say the Bills.
But there's a difference between how good they're doing and their talent. They are the most talented, pound for pound boxer. They are the best. But when it comes down to any games, I play a lot of fighting games, Mortal Kombat games. I have a friend who's a competitive player. I still beat him. Am I a better player? No, I just beat him in that game. And that's what happened today. We beat them. I'm not going to say we're a more talented team because we're fucking not. The Bills are probably the most talented.
Bills are, yeah.
So
truly.
Anyways, I'm super
excited.
Happy. This is great. I think this was also the best game of the year. Like that, this game was so insane.
It's insane. Like me and my grandpa were saying that after, like, this game's crazy.
Yeah.
Like this, my grandpa's a Packers fan, but he'll watch the Vikings just because he likes to cheer for him with me. And even he was screaming. He's like, my gosh.
Not even the game. The last 2 fucking minutes was a roller coaster.
It's crazy. Like this is why you watch football. This is why it's the most popular thing in this country.
Absolutely.
Because that's fun. It's fun.
It's great. And I just want that to be said is this game was great, and I think it's the best game of the year, and I'm so happy. I would have been happy for any of the times that the game ended because we had like 5 ends if we would have lost, because somebody said, the Vikings, if they win, it was towards the end, it was already in OT, and one of the announcers like, hey, if they win, they're gonna put the naysayers down, and the other guy goes, I think they did already. Like I think we went toe to toe and we're in OT. How have we not put them?
That was even like I came to the conclusion, like when Kirk didn't make the yard, I was like, you know what? If we come up a half a yard short from beating the Bills, I feel good.
I'm okay with that.
I felt good right in that moment. Like I was a little
we'd
hurt.
Ever win.
Oh my god, I wouldn't have put money on it.
No, I wouldn't have either, and I didn't.
So here we go. On to the Cowboys. Let's go.
I didn't think we were going to do this for 40 minutes, so let's get out of here. Both of us are going to go to sleep, and so I think I'm putting this out Monday. So for the people who are watching it, I hope you guys like that we finally did one at the beginning of the week instead of the end of the week.
We're timely. We're timely.
Yeah, timely for once. All right. Thanks a lot, Dustyn. And we'll talk to you guys hopefully next week. Next week is a better week for us for filming. So I'm assuming we'll be able to be here for Cowboys. So,
yes.
all right. Bye. Ooh, there you go. I have to click it twice.